All right. Hello, everybody. KVUE Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here with our nightly extended update on the forecast here on KVUE Plus, and YouTube Live, and all of our streaming platforms. The big focus today has obviously been the wind and the fire danger, so we'll start with that. But once the fire threat kind of winds down later on this evening, we're actually looking ahead to, believe it or not, a couple of pretty chilly mornings and then a little storm chance coming in over the weekend. So with that, we will get into things, and as we always do here on our extended update, we'll just go through all the details, all the data, all of everything. All right, so here it is. We still have a weather impact alert day in effect. So far today, knock on wood, we have not had any new additional big fires develop. So the last big fire we had was the Crabapple fire back over the weekend in Gillespie County. But still, I want us to be mindful through 9 p.m. That is when the fire threat will start to end for us. We have strong winds, low humidity, no outdoor burning, and continue to make sure everybody is up to speed with the fire weather plan in your household. We have a red flag warning, which also goes through 9 p.m. This includes all of our KVUE counties with the exception of Milam County. And you can see we are not alone in dealing with the fire threat across the state of Texas today. The good news is that once we get through this evening, our fire threat tomorrow is much lower. It's going to be a little bit cooler and not nearly as windy. So, look, it's not zero. But that blue, that is moderate fire danger, then a few little pockets there of high fire danger. Heading into Friday, though, it starts to ramp up a little bit. We trend warmer, the breeze picks back up. It's going to be high to very high fire danger, but still maybe a red flag warning for the hill country. I don't know that we'll have alerts for the Austin area, though. Then likewise, as we head into Saturday, it's an elevated fire threat, but not the same, extreme fire danger that we've been tracking here over the past couple of days in central Texas. It's also been a little hazy today, so it's a sunny sky, but some of that West Texas dust actually came in immediately behind the cold front, which got here this morning, and it's kind of lingered across our area today. So that's what you're seeing with the haze out there from our tower cam. High temperatures today. This was a little bit of a cool down, but still we're above average for this time of the year. 74 was the high 74 is the average. Mabry hit 78 today. 79 was the high at the airport. It was pretty mild this morning in the 60s, but I'll tell you what, tonight is not going to be mild. It's going to be pretty chilly, in fact, heading out the door tomorrow morning. Here are the current numbers at 7:03 on this Wednesday evening. 74 in Bastrop, 70 in Austin. It stayed in the 60s for much of the day across the hill country, where, of course, that cold front arrived a little bit earlier. This has been the most noticeable thing. And look, Austin, we're after 7 o'clock. It is still gusting to 30 miles per hour in town right now at Mabry, 24 in LaGrange, 28 in Bastrop, Fredericksburg gusting to 23, Burnett is gusting to 29 miles per hour. And compared to yesterday, where we had a south wind, which brings us some of that moisture off the Gulf of Mexico, especially a south-southeast wind, today it is a bone-dry northwest wind. So look at these relative humidity values. These are actually starting to come up. That's what happens as we go to the evening. Temperatures drop. Humidity starts to go up a little bit. It is 18% in Austin right now, 12% in 12% in San Marcos, 10% in Blanco. Earlier, we had some of these numbers down at like 2-3%. So this was just bone dry air today. But again, let's make it through this evening. Hopefully we'll do all right. No additional fires develop, and then that humidity, as it does, will rise overnight. And the winds eventually, once we get past midnight, will go to sleep as well. So here's the visible satellite. I have it kind of scaled up. You can see there was a little bit of dust, West Texas dust, that made it into parts of the hill country. There's lower concentrations of dust all across central Texas, but kind of the thicker plume got close to us, but it looks like that one kind of missed us down to the southwest. On the more business end of the system, look what is going on. So, okay, massive, swirling low pressure here. This is just one of those kind of dynamic, March systems where you go from severe weather and then you're not too far away into heavy snow. There was a couple tornado warnings in the Chicago area. I was actually watching former KVUE Chief Meteorologist Albert Ramon covering some of that. He is now working at the CBS station in Chicago. But there has been some severe weather well north of here. Obviously, that's not impacting us. We're not done with the wind yet. Normally, once the sun goes down, the wind dies down a little bit too. We actually have another little secondary boundary coming in for this evening. So even at 10 or 11 o'clock, we have some 30 to 35 mile an hour wind gust in spots. But once we get later into the overnight, wind's going to die down, and tomorrow is just not going to be nearly as breezy. So that is the big reason why our fire threat goes down. We're looking at 5 to 10 mile per hour wind, maybe some gust up to 15. That is more or less that. I would say that's actually a little bit less windy than an average day here in central Texas. All right, so I want to give you a heads up for this. Don't get caught off guard. Heading out the door tomorrow morning, it is going to be a little bit chilly. I know it's been all about the warm afternoons, but we're going to have a lot of 40s and some 30s tomorrow morning. 43 in Giddings, 43 in Smithville, 42 in Bastrop. 43 in town for Austin, some low 40s for the more outlying suburbs. It would not surprise me if maybe some of the more rural parts of Williamson County, maybe out around Leander, actually dropped into the upper 30s in some, kind of low-lying, wind-protected spots. But I do expect a lot of mid to upper 30s across the hill country. I think in town, even in the hill country, so, Johnson City proper, Llano, Fredericksburg, Mason, 35, 36, 37, not a freeze. Is it possible some of these rural outlying wind protected, creek beds and river valleys could see a light freeze tonight? Not completely out of the question, but for 99.9% of us, it won't be a freeze tonight. Here's the afternoon tomorrow. It's going to be a sunny, just beautiful day. The wind's going to die down. It will actually be a little bit cooler than average though. So average this time of the year, as we talked about a few minutes ago, 74, be 2 degrees below that, about 72 in the forecast for Austin. Closer look at the Metro and I-35 corridor, 72 in Round Rock tomorrow. 71 in Lago Vista, Dripping Springs, about 73 for tomorrow. As we go into the weekend, that little cool down, it's like one day. Friday into Saturday and Sunday, temperatures quickly are going to rebound. So Saturday, I have us at 86 and mostly sunny sky. A little breezy again, south-southeast, 5 to 15, gust to 25. Then Sunday, most of the day, it looks like will be dry, pretty warm, 88, maybe 90 for some. This 30% rain chance, it comes in for the late day, maybe even into Sunday night, and it depends on how early an approaching cold front will arrive. So this is a couple days away. The model data I'm going to show you, I promise you it's going to change some, but just an example of how, kind of a general view of how things could play out. So here's 8 a.m. on Sunday. This is the wind shift, so there's the front. So watch, that's going to come down closer to us. Most of the day is dry. But then as we get into the late afternoon and the evening, this model, the European model, says we have a decent coverage of scattered showers and storms, especially along and east of I-35. This model says especially southeast of Austin, too. We know how this goes. I'm not holding my breath for any sort of widespread meaningful rain, but I am seeing some signals in the model that maybe some of us could get a little bit of rain, especially to the east of Austin. Now, if we do get some storms, there's probably going to be a low-end strong storm risk. We'll talk about that here in a moment, but either way, I think this front kind of slides down to our south as we get into early Monday, and the day on Monday is looking pretty much completely dry. So here's the storm outlook for Sunday. This is the extended outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. So they don't do the level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yet. They only do the level 2 and the level 3. So the 15% area, the level 2, they have outlined that for some areas, mainly to our northeast. This does kind of clip Milam County. And again, we do this, you can kind of imagine when they fill in the level 1 ring around that, that could go down maybe to Austin or into some bigger parts of our KVU area. So we'll see how it shakes out. Nothing guaranteed so far, but there's a chance there could be a couple of strong storms. And personally, I'm hoping for no hail or strong stuff and just a little bit of rain. But even this system, look, these rainfall totals, these are 7-day off of both our GFS American model and our European model. These are nothing, crazy, but maybe, our European model is saying quarter-inch, half-inch plus for some areas that get storms to our southeast. So we'll see. I hope that we can get some rain. By the way, this is not in our 7-day forecast, but I am actually seeing some signs that maybe next week we could have a little bit of rain, or even just the back half of this month that maybe we could get some rain back in our forecast. So that would be fantastic. Here's the 7-day forecast in the meantime. Couple of cool mornings, 43 tomorrow morning, nice afternoon, 72, 43 for Friday morning, 80 for the afternoon on Friday, Saturday 86, Sunday 88 degrees. That could go up or down depending on what exactly that front gets here. It will monitor Sunday for a storm risk. As of now, I've got it pretty low, just 30%, but keep an eye on that. That front's going to move through, not much cool air behind it, even less than the system that moved through earlier today. So, 50s Monday morning, 81 for the afternoon high. Then Tuesday into Wednesday will still be in the mid 80s. Again, I'm not saying these are huge rain chances, but we've got some. As we go to Wednesday, we're back up to a 20% chance for rain. So we'll keep you posted here at KVU. Remember, weather impact alert through 9 p.m. this evening. It's another 2 hours, but we're still breezy, still low humidity. So make sure you're being mindful and avoid any outdoor burning. Next update from me will be about 3 hours from now on KVU News at 10 o'clock. We'll see you then. Y'all have a good night.